Hey guys, it's Abby here. So as you can see, I was trying to turn on this Epson 3640 and the LCD panel screen was not working. I powered the printer off and powered it back on and the screen still wouldn't work. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and replace the screen. So here I am doing the first thing that I got to do to be able to take that scanner off is take this fax cover off. So it's going to have 2 screws that I need to take, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the top 2 screws off on that scanner facing the back. One black screw there and one silver screw deep down. Once I do that, I can remove that duplexer from the back, and I'll pop off that fax cover. Here is where I can go ahead and start to take off the wires, unscrew the ground wire, and take off that FFC cable, and then I can just kind of pivot off that scanner on the top of the printer. Then I'll take off the 7 screws, and there's going to be 1 screw that's holding that hinge down and 1 screw under that hinge. So once I get all the 7 screws off, then I can go ahead and pop off that top cover. This is where the LCD panel is connected, so I can take that wire off and undo that FFC cable, unscrew that ground wire that goes down into the main board, and then there'll be 2 screws holding that LCD panel, one on the left side and one on the right side. So once I pull that out, I can just kind of undo that wire that feeds through. There we go. Okay, so here's where I found my problem. My problem was with one of the pins on this FFC cable right in the middle there. You can see it was bent down. So that's why it was not reading correctly and the LCD panel was not responding to any kind of touch or any of the buttons working, anything like that. So here I am, I just popped it open, and I'm going to disconnect that old FFC cable with a new FFC cable, and I want to make sure that it's facing the same way. So as you can kind of see that there's this writing, lettering, numbering, that's going to face that inside, which also if you just look down where the pins go, you'll want the pins to be facing the correct way. And as you see, I didn't really take out the old FFC cable all the way. This is where I kind of left it in because this was my first time replacing an FFC cable in a LCD panel. So here I am just kind of trying to follow my way through with the old one as a guide. So I still left that one in there, and I didn't take that iron piece off. I left that one glued down to that piece, and I am feeding the new FFC cable through, still leaving that old FFC cable taped down to that black piece, to that back black piece. And here I am just screwing that ground wire to hold it back together. Alright, and then at this point is where I kind of pulled off that old FFC cable because I saw where it folded back down over, and I'll just slide back on that iron piece. And so that's how and then I just followed my procedure back, putting it back together of, putting the LCD panel back on, the 2 screws, the top cover, the 7 screws, and the main board. And here I am just putting those fax covers back on and gonna put the 2 top screws down in the scanner. Then I can go ahead and put that duplexer back in, and then I'll just go ahead and plug this printer up and we'll turn it on to see if it works. I got it to turn on, And at this point it did work, so the screen was working back together. And after that I just realized that I needed to format this printer to be a chipless printer. So it ended up working correctly.